to the Youth Forum podcast, a show designed to give youth a voice and to give an opportunity for people to share their views on important social issues. The topic for today's mini-episode is pop culture. Pop culture is defined by the Cambridge Dictionary as, quote, music, TV, cinema, books, etc. that are popular and enjoyed by ordinary people rather than experts or very educated people, end quote. Many consider items in pop culture to fall into the category of fads and silly trends in television and media, but many do not consider what falls under the etc. portion of the definition. What else can be considered pop culture, you may ask? Politics, sports, technology, and even food. That's right. All of those times you sat on the couch with your buddies cheering for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Toronto Blue Jays, you were indulging in pop culture. Same goes for those of you who were rooting for your favorite political candidate last election, or those of you who have eaten the ever so popular dish known as ramen. These are all things that groups of everyday individuals indulge in and have a liking towards. Thus, they fall under the umbrella of pop culture. Regardless of what area of pop culture you look at, each one represents the current generation and helps to form a sort of identity. Pop culture isn't something based on expert opinion, and the fact that it's something that anyone can involve themselves in and enjoy is important, as it represents the things that the general population can connect to. This helps to unite a large group over common interests, which helps to build communities. This is particularly beneficial with subsections of pop culture, where, though the groups are smaller, those who feel that they don't have a community elsewhere are able to find people who are like them. Think about the spaces that have been created for people with common interests to bond over their favorite pieces of pop culture. From Comic-Con to food vloggers to YouTube channels devoted to discussing the lore of your favorite movie franchise. If there is something that you're interested in, there is likely a community for it. Somewhere where you can share your interest in something with like-minded individuals. By gaining interest in pop culture, racial, generational, and socioeconomic barriers can be broken. Changes in pop culture can prompt adaptations and changes in thinking, encouraging learning, which is generally considered beneficial. The fact that pop culture changes based on what generation is in which stage of their lives also means that those who have primary control over what is popular are trying new things, thus making changes in what they consider experimenting with. Though it has its benefits, there are also parts of pop culture that leave a bad taste in the mouths of many. One of the biggest issues found with pop culture is centered around the commercialization of everything. Due to the media aspect of pop culture, it can be easy to develop merchandisable products based off of people, characters, and other aspects of the content being idolized. This creates business opportunities for those who are interested in targeting the people who are a part of pop culture communities through merchandise, which many find morally gray. Some of the things that are included in pop culture also reflect the capitalist nature of today's society. For example, consider all of your favorite music, particularly those songs that are popular amongst the general population. How many of those songs reference money and a desire for expensive, materialistic things? How many of those songs reference topics that have been popular in the media recently, including specific celebrities and media content? How many of those songs reference some form of narcissism, either by referring to oneself as the best or only considering the physical appearance that something being described, such as a love interest, gives off? My guess is that it's a lot. Now, listening to songs that contain this type of lyricism is not inherently bad, but how we understand those lyrics in regards to our own morals is important. What I mean by this is that it's of course okay to listen to your favorite song that talks about how much the artist wants a roly 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 and how they use designer belts. If you understood that reference, I applaud you and your knowledge of meme songs. But it is also important to keep in mind how we consider those words in reference to ourselves. Many of the messages in music are good, but things such as narcissism and materialism are generally considered to be net negatives. Thus, taking those types of messages too close to heart could have negative results. Though pop culture can express an idealization of capitalism, the application of critical thinking to these types of pop culture can have positive effects. It allows for those of us indulging in pop culture to evaluate our own morals, and critical thinking is always beneficial, whether for practical reasons or just to exercise the mind. So, if there is anything to take away from this episode, it's the reminder to think about why something in pop culture appeals to you or why you choose to turn away from it. This uses critical thinking and directs it towards our lives, which can give us a better understanding of ourselves in the end.